In this video, I'll take you through the new feature that came in WordPress appointment booking, which enables you to make group bookings for the same time slot. So right over here, I am on my website that is an event website that enables one to make group tours around the city of Vienna. If someone wants to actually make a booking, when they come over here to the bookings page, and let me say they select a Vienna city tour and they select the guide. So here they see the available times based on the calendar. Let's say this time slot, and you say next. And here you see that for the tickets, we are able to, if you book this appointment, you can select how many people are coming with you in that group. You can say 10, 11, or 2 people. Let me say 9 people. And automatically you see that the price is multiplied by the number of people or tickets. When we say next, then here you can enter the names and go ahead and check out. So how do you come to know the number of slots that are available to be booked? So back here in the dashboard, when you look over here to appointments and you go to straight to that service, so it was the Vienna city tour. And as you can see that there is a price. So here is a price and the duration is 3.5 hours. And when we come down below here to group reservations, it is enabled. So we can allow multiple people to book the same appointment slot as long as there are vacant places. The minimum capacity is 1 and the maximum capacity is 15 people. So this is how you come to have the number of slots being 15 or tickets in this case. You can go ahead and increase those to any number of slots that you want or that are available. And the other most important thing that you have to know is the bookable item name, which is tickets at the moment, but you can change that to places, tours, slots, or whatever you want to call it that makes sense in your case. So as you can see that here it is tickets. That is what you saw right over here as we are going to check out. But also when we come over here in the dashboard and we come to the calendar, you see that when I click over here on one of the already made reservations, you see that for this specific slot that was booked, there are 4 tickets. So, and for this, there are 5 tickets that have been sold. And if you come over here to the bookings and you look at each individual bookings, you see the quantity of the bookings. So it is 1 booking where they paid even the amount of money that is needed, and the quantity is 4 tickets in this case. So the question is, how do you set this up in your appointment booking website with WordPress? So the first thing is you first have to add employees. So in this case, I have 2 employees. So you can start by, let me say, adding John Mark. You can add their email. You can decide to add the profile picture of the tour guide. Let me say, now once your employee is published, we are going to come back here to our dashboard and we go straight to the services. So under the services, you can add what kind of activities that are bookable on your website. One of the services that are offered is culture shows. So maybe we will do a culture show, and then here we're going to say add a service, and here we have a time slot, and the duration here is either 30 minutes, 1 hour, but we can change that. So when we come here to our dashboard and we come to settings, you see the default time step is 30 minutes, or we can change it to 10 minutes. So for every 10 minutes, we can have a bookable service. So here I'll save changes, and then I'm going to come back here. I'm going to first of all save as a draft, reload this page. Now, when we come back here to our duration, you see now we have from 0, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and all that stuff. So for a culture show, it may take roughly 50 minutes. I'll leave up everything here on the default settings and go down below here on the group booking. So here we have to allow multiple people to book the same appointment slot as long as there are vacant places. So in this case, we have the minimum capacity of 1 person and the maximum capacity of, let me say, 20 people. So you have like 20 seats in this concert hall or culture show event. And then here we can choose to say multiply the price by the number of booked items or slots. Yes. And what do you name what they are actually booking? So we can say slots, but in this case, I prefer to use tickets. and you can choose a color. This color is what will appear in the calendar. So when you come here to services, dashboard, then you come to calendar, you see this is a different color and this is a different color. So for any other new service that you add, you have to choose, a color that it's easy for you to identify. So back here into our services editor, I can say load more, and then I can choose maybe a blue like this. Choose that. And then we can select which employee will be able to handle this event. So in this case, this is going to be John Mark, the employee we just created. So the deposit settings, we can say whether we want, a fixed amount of money to be deposited or we want a percentage, but I'll leave everything here on the default settings where it is disabled. And that means that someone will have to make the full payment. So now we are going to publish our service. Before we actually test out our booking form at the moment, the question is, how can you generate a custom booking form using WordPress just to have the fields that do really matter to display at the front end here? So the first thing you have to do is to come over here to shortcodes, and right over here you will create a booking form. So in this case, when I say edit, you see that I have the services category disabled, and you can also decide to disable the location or the employee, and you just let people only say book, only select the service and then the employee, and then they go next. So that's how you can go ahead and customize which fields are actually appearing right over here. The other thing that you can customize are, of course, for example, here on the labels section, you can choose to name how, for example, what is displaying. So without this word, sites to tour, you will only have the word service that is appearing right over here. You can go ahead and also customize the colors of the form. So once you are done here, you're going to say save changes, copy your booking form shortcode, and you're going to come straight here to your booking page. So I'll move this up just here, paste the shortcode, save changes. So as you can see, we have the label, sites to tour, location, and then the tour guide. I'll just move this shortcode widget into this block over here and save changes, come back here to the front end, preview the page. And now you see we have our shortcode block right within the container that is holding this other image. To go ahead, we can select the kind of service that we want. So let me say Vienna City Tour, and the tour guide will be Marcus Muller. And then here we select a date or the available date. As you can see, I'll select, let me say 18th. And from here, we can choose the time slots that are available for him. And here you see it's showing the number of tickets that are available on that specific time slot. So here I select, I go next, and here I can now choose whether I want one ticket or more tickets. So if I want like 12 tickets, I'll book that, and you see automatically the price is multiplied. I'll say next, and here I'll have to enter in the name of me who is actually making the booking. I'll add my phone number and the booking note. So in this case, you want to inform the event organizer of any communication, then please, you have to feed it in right over here. And then right over here, say next. And you see now there is an option to check out with PayPal. So how do we come to this? First of all, what you have to do is to come here to your dashboard, and under settings, we have the option to go to payments. And here we can enable the kind of payments that we want to collect on our website. First, there is a test payment, pay on site, direct bank transfer, Stripe, and PayPal. I have that test payment enabled. You just come to manage and say enable this payment method, and then save changes. And the other payment method that I have is PayPal. So when I come here to manage, you see that I have PayPal enabled and the sandbox enabled. The sandbox is a test environment where you can make test payments before you actually let your website go live. So the question is, how do you set this up? So you're going to click over here on that link, and that will take you up in the new tab. And here you'll have to log into your PayPal account. Once you log in, there is an option here called App and Credentials. Once you come to App and Credentials, you're going to say create an app. And I'll give it a name, bookings. and then select the merchant option to accept payments as a merchant. Create the app. Here you'll get the client ID and the client secret key. So we need this. I'll copy the client ID, come here to our settings, and this will be empty. Paste my client ID, and then for the secret, you'll come over here, copy the secret ID, and come here and paste your secret key, and then save changes. So what we are creating is a sandbox to test our PayPal payments. And as you can see right over here, the sandbox option is selected. So you will not use these credentials on a live website. So what we're going to do is save changes. So what next do we have now to configure is to enable that we are testing these payments. So we have here the sandbox mode enabled. So come here to general settings and make sure that confirmation mode is upon payment. So that's how you'll be able to be taken to this checkout page. And here I'm going to choose the debit or credit card option, because right over here we can also enable that our website visitors who don't have a PayPal account can actually check out using a debit card or credit card. So I'll say debit card, and here we can use some demo debit cards that are provided by PayPal. So back here to the dashboard, we are going to come to tools. We go to credit card generator, and we are going to click over here to test cards, and we can use some of these cards to test out, or we can generate ours. So let me say I want to generate a MasterCard from, a country, let me say Austria, and say generate card. So we have a card number now. So I come here, enter my card number, come back here, get the expiry date, and paste the expiry date and also the CVV. So the expiry date should be any date in the future. It doesn't have to be specifically that. Here I'll fill in the billing address, and there we go. So I'll say buy now, and boom, you have successfully made a booking. Thank you. So it's going to be Vienna City Tour, tickets 12. This is the date, and we can as well add this to a Google Calendar of our own calendar. Let me say add to Google Calendar, and you see it is automatically selecting the event name and the time that we have booked, and actually showing who is going to be our tour guide and the number of tickets that we have bought are 12 tickets. And all I have to do is to add this to my calendar. Now, how do you see this booking back in the admin area of your WordPress website? Of course, you'll receive an email, but second, inside the dashboard, when you come to appointments, let's go to calendar. You see that now on the 19th, we have a city tour with Lucas Muller. And when I click over there, you see we have 12 tickets that have been booked on the 19th of August, and we are making a Vienna City tour. And also when we come here to payments, you are going to see that there is a payment that was made, and here is a transaction number, and the payment method that was used is PayPal. Lastly, if you come to bookings and you say edit the booking, you will see that this is the booking that was made, and you see the service, the employee, and the location, and the price, and the date, and the number of clients or the tickets that were bought. Here's a summary of the payment details. And do you remember the booking notes that I mentioned? Yes, this is where you can read the booking notes that were added by the client when they were checking out. And of course, if you want to look at all the entire bookings, these are all the bookings that have been made so far on this site, and the prices that have been paid, the customer details, and the quantity of tickets that have been bought on each confirmed booking. In a nutshell, that's how the new group booking feature for the same time slot from WordPress appointment booking works like. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.